There's a reason that sometimes marketing gets lumped into the expense category rather than the investment category where it rightfully belongs. Or why it sometimes gets budgeted for last with any leftovers or scraps instead of being prioritized as the true business building powerhouse it is. Or why it sometimes even gets completely ignored and put off until next year or maybe even the year after that. So that's why today we're talking about the kind of marketing that wastes your money so you can avoid it and what to do instead. Let's get to it. Hey there, my name is Adam Erhart, Modern Marketing Strategist, and welcome to the Modern Marketing Show, where we help you make marketing that matters. So if you're interested in learning about the latest and greatest marketing strategies, tools, tips, tricks, and tactics, well, you may want to consider subscribing and hitting that little notification bell. There's a famous quote by John Wanamaker that goes, "Over half of my advertising budget is wasted, I just don't know which half." Sadly, this is all too common today, with far too many people investing in far too many subpar marketing opportunities, which lead to nothing or very little in return, and basically forcing them to write off marketing completely or to keep kind of guessing blindly and trying to figure out what things go on the fly. The reality is that there is such a thing as good marketing and bad marketing. The trick is differentiating the two and finding the right one for your business, because good marketing and bad marketing, well, it is subjective and really relevant to your business and your market and your industry and the customers you serve. That said, there are some flat out blanket forms of bad marketing, and let's get into them now so you can avoid them and save your marketing dollars. The first kind of marketing we need to talk about that is a complete and utter waste of your marketing budget is what I like to call fake marketing. And the reason I call it fake marketing is because it tends to be brand awareness marketing disguised as direct response marketing. So what does that mean? Well, brand awareness marketing is all about increasing your reach or the number of customers that you get in front of and essentially educating people about your brand and about your business. Not bad in and of itself. On the other hand, you have direct response marketing, and this is marketing that is incredibly direct, as the name implies, where you're going out there and putting marketing in front of your ideal customers and expecting them to take an action which you're going to use and measure in order to determine the effectiveness of the strategy. Now, where the fake marketing comes into play is when this brand awareness marketing gets disguised as direct response marketing. And this is often done by junior agencies or people who are kind of new to the business and aren't really sure about the differences or how to properly position them inside your business. What this means is that business owners often get sold grand promises of increasing sales and increasing revenue and bringing in more leads and clients and customers, when what's really being done is brand awareness style tactics, which really aren't going to equate to sales at the end of the day. Now, of course, brand awareness marketing is important. Reaching more customers, increasing engagement, building more connection with them, all of this is incredibly valuable. But where things start to fall short is if these don't equate to more leads, customers, and sales coming in the door. And ultimately, if you're not increasing your revenue, your marketing isn't doing a good job. Hence, fake marketing. Now, the next point we need to cover is vanity metrics, and these work right alongside fake marketing that we just discussed. You see, marketing campaigns that are there to drive shares and drive likes on the page and drive engagement with your content, these are all good things, but at the end of the day, are they equating to actual revenue, actual customers coming in the door? Probably not. The other problem with vanity metrics is they often provide a false sense of security, leading you to believe that your marketing is actually working, when in reality it's not. If this is the direction that your marketing is currently heading, you're much better off to stop everything, take a step back, reevaluate everything, and form a more strategic direction moving forward. At the end of the day, you can't feed your kids with likes. The next point we need to cover is something I call unaccountable marketing. And this essentially equates to any kind of marketing that's just made randomly or off the cuff or simply as a response to an opportunity that comes across your plate. Another way to look at this is as a random act of marketing or spray and play marketing, or essentially anything where you're just kind of reaching out there and engaging in whatever comes across rather than making a decision strategically and ensuring that it's the right fit for your brand, your business, and your customers. You see, the problem with unaccountable marketing and just sort of reacting to whatever opportunities come your way is, first of all, you're not sure if they're good opportunities or not. And second of all, even if they happen to be, you probably don't have the measures in place in order to determine their effectiveness. So if they work, you can do more. And if they don't work, well, you can stop them before you bleed out too much money. Obviously, the flip side of unaccountable marketing is accountable marketing, which means starting with a clear plan in mind, getting a goal, and then working backwards from that in order to help achieve your objective. There's 3 questions I've found here that are incredibly useful in determining the right path and the right strategy for your business. The first question is to ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish? This could be more calls, more clicks, more leads, more sales, more customers, or even some of those vanity metrics, as long as you know what you're trying to achieve. The next question is, what are we going to do to accomplish this? This means choosing the right strategy for the job. In other words, are you going to deploy Facebook ads or Instagram content or maybe videos on YouTube? Whatever it is, make sure that it matches the market that you're trying to reach. And the third and most important question of all is, how will we know if we're successful? This is where setting really important KPIs, or key performance indicators, comes into play, so you can determine the viability and essentially the success of your campaign at the end of the day. One of the most valuable pieces of marketing advice I could ever hope to give you is to find the things that are working and do more of them, and to find the things that aren't working and to just stop. It sounds simple, and yet you'd be amazed at how many times I conduct an audit on a client's business and see things that have clearly not been working for a long time that just keep getting done because that's the way things have always been done. And on the other hand, they're far too quick to abandon campaigns that have proven successful when all they really needed to do is just run them again, and maybe even a little harder. Even though my bias is clearly in the direction of direct response marketing over brand awareness marketing, and I obviously hold accountable marketing very near and dear to my heart, you still can't ignore the true fact that invisible ROI does indeed exist. So what is invisible ROI? Well, invisible ROI, or return on investment, is essentially the return on investment that you get that isn't directly attributable or linkable to any one source. What this means is, at the end of the day, though it's great to be able to attribute a click to a sale or a website visit to a customer, sometimes the lines get a little bit blurred and it's hard to draw a clear distinction between what campaigns are responsible, especially if you've got a multifaceted campaign with all sorts of different touch points and enabling you to get more content out in front of your ideal customers. What I like to do with invisible ROI is just accept it as it is. Rather, we never really plan a campaign strictly for this purpose, but when it comes in, we say thank you and we get back to work. Alright, so thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also be sure to say hello in the comments section below. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or issues with the video and the strategies we covered today. Also, for more great marketing strategies, tools, tips, tricks, and tactics, well, you may want to head over to AdamErhart.com and check out all the resources and blogs and podcasts and articles and all sorts of stuff that'll really help take your marketing and your business to the next level. Alright, so thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time on The Modern Marketing Show.